Predictions. Twisted Metal 2. Now, I do think there's going to be another one of these games to finish off the rebooted series. However, I don't think it will be too fast coming out, because I think the Eat Sleep Play will probably do what they did for E3. Like, they hid the fact that they were making one for like ever, and then they speculated that they weren't going to make one, and if they were or not. And then E3 came, Sweet Tooth came out in his ice cream truck, and they announced it. That was probably my favorite part of that E3 that year, was when they announced the new Twisted Metal game. It looked good, but unfortunately it didn't do that good. I'm gonna continue this thought later on in the video. For now, I'm gonna show the covers. With the covers, you may notice some new characters in it, as well as lacking a title. The reason why I didn't put a title in for Twisted Metal was because I wasn't sure if I should go with a classic look or with the new modern look to the Twisted Metal title. So I just left it out because I didn't want to risk it. So here's Sophie phasing into Sweet Tooth, or vice versa. I'm not sure. It just looked cool when I made it. Again, Sophie and Nicolas Cage. Well, Sweet Tooth. Well, actually, yeah, it's Nicolas Cage. This one has probably got to be my favorite cover I made. Mainly due to the fact it's staying true to the Twisted Metal look, I think. It's just my opinion. This is just plain Sweet Tooth. And the same cover again, just a different edited grain and stuff. Black and white mainly. So, Twisted Metal. Yes, the new game was supposed to be a reboot of the whole series, and Eat Sleep Play tried to bring it, but they hold back. That's I think was the problem with the new one. They should have went a little more, kick ass with it. They should have brought their game. I'm just saying. Reasons for why I think Twisted Metal 2 will be coming out, because of the ending and the 2 epilogues. With epilogue 1, it's the whole story of how Marcus didn't actually kill one of his kids. He left one of his sons alive. And basically, his son comes back to Sweet Tooth's grave, digs out his mask, which is right there, down there. So, Nicolas Cage is out. In epilogue 2, you see Calypso going to the grave of Sweet Tooth, talking about anger and so much revenge should not be wasted. At this point, I was thinking he's going to revive Marcus and he's going to come back as Dark Tooth. But to my surprise, and probably everyone else's surprise, they introduced a new character. Sophie Cain. She is reborn and is now a new Sweet Tooth character. Not necessarily sweet. I'm just saying, she has a clown mask and fire head. Which, this part was probably my favorite. Big surprise. A great new character, finally. And it's just, one problem is probably naming her. I'm sure they will probably try to stay to the Tooth name. So I was thinking maybe Cotton Tooth or Sprinkles Tooth or, I don't know, Dot Tooth because of her pants. Never mind, those are lame names. Actually, I would like to know what you guys think. So if you have any names for her, put them in the comments. I would like to read them. To continue on, again, they were trying to revive the Twisted Metal series. There are some goods and bads with this series. One of the goods is the live action cutscenes. I actually love that a lot. I really like that. I hope they add it to Twisted Metal 2 when they make it. If they make it. Anyways, I really enjoyed the live action scenes for the cutscenes. instead of, you know, traditional graphical characters. Part of the problem in the new Twisted Metal was the lack of characters. I mean, they still had the vehicles and everything, but they didn't have the characters themselves, which many Twisted Metal fans kind of didn't like. I know this because I talked to a lot of them. Now, Sweet Tooth is one of the four characters in the new Twisted Metal game. I loved Sweet Tooth's story. Nothing wrong with that. Another character is Dollface. I actually like Dollface's story a lot as well. You know, she wanted to be on the runway and she got her wish. That's what the whole Twisted Metal series is about. Watch out for what you wish for. And it's dark and shit. Mr. Grimm. This is the problem. This is one of the problems. Mr. Grimm's story, I did not like. I just didn't like it. I can't explain it. I just didn't like it. Another thing I didn't like with Mr. Grimm is the new look. What is with this face paint style skull? That was poor design. He should have had like a skull mask. Because back then, when Mr. Grimm was there, he was all about eating something. Like eating souls or being a cannibal. And he had a skull. In the classics, he actually had a skull. Then later on, he gets a skull helmet. Maybe they should have gave him like a skull mask, just a simple skull mask. That would have been better than face paint, in my opinion. Maybe actually have a voodoo style skull mask to like be that soul eating style. You know, witchcraft, voodoo. It would have fit Mr. Grimm more better than a face paint. And here's the fourth character. This is why I switched from 3 to 4, because he is playable, and his part in the story, the priest, was pointless. I hated that. His involvement in the story was just pointless to me. You didn't play as him in the story. You were just watching him preach. And then later on, he is stuck in, I guess, Calypso's hell or something. And I just didn't like the fact of the priest being in there. They might, you know, he might try to break out and then be in Twisted Metal 2, the new one. He may not. Again, some of the problems I have with the new Twisted Metal game is the fact that they had to lack characters because they wanted to do this whole new online thing. The online modes were kind of good. I mean, there were a couple ones I didn't really like that much, due to the fact that they had to like limit the characters just for factions to be made so you could do team match. Really, I don't think you need factions. You could have done team match with just, you know, all the characters too. You shouldn't have went with faction names. And to talk about the factions, those are the shortest, lacking creativity names. You know, it's just the word the, and then something after that. The clowns, the dolls, the skulls, and the priests. Really, Facepound, come on, man. Those faction names were lame, and I didn't like those names. You could have thought of something more creative to have the faction names. If you're going to have the factions, do that for Twisted Metal 2. Make them more creative, instead of just the clowns and the dolls. So, you could have still added more characters, in my opinion, as well. I have some ideas. Mr. Slam, if you added him, the construction workers, or the workers. Outlaw, if you have added him or her, because the first Outlaw was a chick. No, the first Outlaw was a man, then Outlaw 2 came out, it was female, and then Twisted Metal. He was a, you know, a male again. The cops. Trister. The racers. I mean, come on. And last, Crazy 8. If they have added him, the boxers. Snap. I also, with my problems lacking characters and, you know, the faction names and whatever, they could have done that a lot better. With that, I have some new characters that they could probably bring in because, well, who doesn't like a new character? I mean, even though it's probably not going to be used to the, you know, whole Tristan Metal series, but, you know. My first suggestion for a new car and character is someone classic, you know, in a classic old school car. It doesn't have to be this car exactly, just like have like an awesome old school car to add into the game. An astronaut and a freaking moon rover or lunar rover, whatever they call it. My reason for picking that, it would just be funny as hell. That's the only reason why I chose a moon rover, whatever they call it. A moon car, man. That would just be awesome. A school bus. You know, it would be compared to Darkseid. Is that what her name is in the truck? I think so. Anyways, you need more big cars so you can have someone to actually be able to fight back against Juggernaut and Darkseid. A Jeep. I don't think there's ever been a Jeep in Tristan Metal that I can think of. So, you know, bring in a Jeep. And also, a limo. Just because that would just be badass too. I was recently watching 21st Jump Street and I was just like, that would be awesome to have a limo in Tristan Metal. So, holy shit, bring in a limo character as well. Another good aspect of the new Tristan Metal game is the customization of the cars. I really like that aspect. It was really, all the different designs were awesome. In Tristan Metal 2, I would like to see more of those. Bosses. I have a couple boss suggestions as well. As you know, Iron Maiden, Brothers Grimm. Here's something you may or may not know. Hammerhead actually made it into Tristan Metal. He is, I believe, the red. Hammerhead was the red car, monster truck in the Brothers Grimm. Lello, maybe, no? He's one of those. And the other one was called something else, but Hammerhead did make it into the game, which was an awesome cameo. I didn't expect that. Sweet Tooth's Carnage. That was probably my funnest part of the game, was playing Sweet Tooth's Carnage. I really liked that boss, and it was just a fun time, man. But some suggestions. In Tristan Metal 2, have Manslaughter as a boss. Reason why? Instead of having this normal dump truck he has, there are those giant ones for mining. Those giant ass dump trucks where they dump ore into and shit. Look how big that is. Put Manslaughter in that and make that a boss. Now that would be a hard ass boss and a really good boss to have in the game. Another one is, where the fuck was Minion? Minion has basically been in almost every Tristan Metal game, and I was really sad that Minion did not make it into the new Tristan Metal. I understand that, you know, Eat Sleep Play was probably, oh, we're rebooting it, let's give it a fresh start and everything, but you gotta have Minion in. If you want to go big, then have a giant ass tank type car. Once you destroy that, out comes the little tiny car of Minion, and then you have to fight him. And then you can unlock that little car. That sounds like a good idea to me. Make him a boss again. Like I said earlier during the epilogue, I thought they were going to bring in Dogtooth, which again, maybe they can still probably do that. Calypso might go to the gravesite again to revive Marcus and make him Darktooth, which would be really good for the game because everyone loves Darktooth, and that would be another good boss to have. More problems with Twisted Metal. Online. Again, I was saying how the factions and everything, they basically did that so they can have a team match. I liked most of the game modes. The problem I have is, why didn't they add some of the story game modes in? Ones like Electric Cage Match. This was fun in story mode. Why was Electric Cage Match not in multiplayer mode? This would have been an awesome game mode to include. As well as Twisted Race. Why was this not in the freaking game modes as well? And basically, with the whole online thing, I would like to see more creative game modes for multiplayer in Twisted Metal 2. When they make it. If they make it. I have said that a lot. If. So, like I said earlier, more creative. Okay, more characters, creative, more stories, more dark, like really dark, like dark. Dark story, and just better online modes. Be creative with making that. So when concerning Twisted Metal, it should be on the same balance, on the same scale or, you know, level as Twisted Metal 2 was and Twisted Metal Black was for the whole Twisted Metal franchise. If you know, Twisted Metal 2 was probably most of people's favorite game, and then Twisted Metal Black came out, that became the new one. Basically, when you're going to make Twisted Metal 2, be on the scale of Twisted Metal 2 and Twisted Metal Black. Because that, if you do that, I think it will do a lot better, and the fans will probably like it a lot better as well. Now, before I end this, I do have more suggestions. What if they added crossover characters? I have already made this video called What If Twisted Metal Had Crossover Characters. So if they make Twisted Metal 2, it's something to think about. They should probably try to make crossover characters into the game, just because, you know, that would actually be kind of cool. I will put the video of What If Twisted Metal Had Crossover Characters in the description below. I will put the link in there for that, so you can go down there, click it, you know, check out all the characters that would be awesome to be, you know, guest characters in Twisted Metal. They're basically going to be called guest characters. Speaking of what if moments, I also have something to say that I didn't say in my Soul Calibur 6 prediction video. Basically, the what if is going to be something involving Soul Calibur, and, you know, to enhance it a little. So once I make that, be looking out for that. It's gonna be what if Soul Calibur had blood in it. So that should be an interesting video once I make it. So this is the end for Twisted Metal 2 2015 or 2016. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe.